But anyway, we're gonna start with this Ram settlement money, because I think this is a
This is a
big
big deal for
topic.
the city.
Yeah, it's a really big deal for the city because you know when you look at just what happened with the Rams and how everything played out and how it's like affecting the economy of St. Louis. I think it's the money that we get from this is a way that we can rebuild from that and finally move on. But how are you guys feeling with like this breakdown? Sean, I'll have you if you have it pulled up at all.
Yeah, so the way it's working out right now, and this is coming from the legalclarity .org and whatnot. The original lawsuit was, of course, towards mainly Stan Kroenke and the NFL and the city going against 31 other teams of saying, "Hey, why are we moving?" It's the basic, simple way of putting that and whatnot. And sadly, Stan Kroenke took his ball and left for LA for better pastures and more money, of course, because what does the Prince of Walmart need more money for? So the original plan, I think, and I want to make sure I'm getting all the facts straight whenever we talk about this too, is I remember that they originally were going to sue Stan Kroenke and the NFL for $1 billion. Mason, do you remember that? If I'm saying that correctly or no?
Well, they always do like the most astronomical amount. Um, and yeah, I don't know if it was 1 billion. I'm sure that's what they would do because that's all those guys are worth however many billions. But
Right.
I know the city spent like $300,000. Not sure if the exact amount. On that HOK project on trying to get the stadium built on the riverfront
Yeah,
with
and
Dave Peacock. I
I
know they
hope
were
he,
definitely trying to cover money from that, and then they
right.
were covering money from them straight up deceiving them the whole damn time.
Yeah, Mason, whenever you put up this short that comes up, I hope you use the cool generation or generated thing that they had for that their plans for that stadium. Because looking back on it now, that would have been such a kick-ass stadium, right on the riverfront. I think that would have been like right on the other side of 70 to where like I think that's like where we even tailgate at like Cass Avenue and
It would have
stuff,
been there. Yeah.
which is really sick looking back on. I really wish that would have gone through, but to give even more context with it all, the case got dragged through years of contingency through discoveries. In 2019, the Missouri Supreme Court ordered NFL owners to turn over 8 years of cell phone records. So that way they could actually keep track of what all was said and, the fuckery of it all. And then finally, it came down to St. Louis settling with them because they didn't want to take the chance of it going to trial and something getting messed up. So that's whenever we got the news then back in, I think, 2021 of or no, the case was set for trial in January 10th of 2022, and then while it was looming and the legal bills were piling up across the 32 teams, both the St. Louis and the NFL reached a $790 million settlement through mediations, and it was announced November 24th, 2021. So, with that being done, here's where it kind of breaks down even more because St. Louis did not get the full 790 million because you have to pay legal fees and the teams that went into
It was
it.
like 35% to the attorneys.
After
The attorneys,
approximately
there's a
275 million in
yeah,
fees went to plaintiffs, law firms,
That's
and so
insane.
forth. So it
and
was
then
about
there was
35%, yeah.
and I wish I had the exact numbers. I think like 80 something million had to go into repairing the dome too.
Yes. So here's how
Something
that
about a
broke
dome
up.
operator.
So we were left with 519 million remaining to be distributed, and the split finalized in 2022, in late 2022, for to the allocated net funds of the city of St. Louis got 250 million, St. Louis County got 169 million, regional convention and sports complex authorities 70 million, and the America Center's convention center expansion to 30 million. Got that amount. Now, what I want to make sure that we tackle properly is what got approved recently. And I think it's coming out of that 250 million and how this is going to work is that the new St. Louis County spending plan for it all is that they would receive 169 million and it's been slowly spent and moved around by August of 2025, the city council or the county council had approved for about 56.2 million across all 5 projects of 40 million to street sidewalks, almost 10 million to cyber security protection for their HR system upgrades, 5.2 million to facilities maintenance on 49 county buildings, a greenhouse gas reduction planning and development study for Spanish Lake area. So that's more stuff going to the north side of it. But to the real meat and potatoes of it all, the St. Louis City will be spending 230 million to do whatever they can, and this is where the Board Bill 22 comes into play with it all. So I don't know if you guys want me to break this down real quick, but this is what's getting reviewed by Carter Spencer and the Board of Aldermen recently.
Like the 120 million tornado recovery, right?
So what that is 110 million of it will be going also to North St. Louis tornado recovery for neighbors and redevelopment, including 79 million for home repairs, infrastructure and demolition, and 5 million for immediate housing support, and 31 million for resident-driven neighborhoods. 65 million citywide infrastructure, including water, street, sidewalk improvements, and I think even in that is also sewer and other stuff, which is really interesting considering we just had a huge fucking sinkhole underneath 70.
right in front of the dome.
Yeah, in front of the dome. So I guess that was kind of a sign of like, hey, we should probably allocate something to that. 55 million will go to downtown revitalization, covering major capital projects targeting vacant buildings, the riverfront improvements, which I know Mason will be happy to hear about, infrastructure upgrades and retail incentives, and an event attraction fund. So let's go ahead and hammer on that. With 55 million, what do you guys think they're going to do with it? What buildings do you think they're going to tear down? What do you think they're going to try and entice bigger businesses to come to St. Louis to drive that revenue?
For me,
fix the roads. Fix the roads. Fix the roads. I love that. That's the first thing anyone says.
I think for me though, if you're gonna talk about like the entertainment fund and just trying to drive up revenue for the city, I think that Laclade's Landing, a revitalization of that would be sick, especially when you look at like what they're doing with Millennium. A lot of that area is gonna all be revitalized to be more of an entertainment district. They just make that whole stretch like around the arch and like through like the dome and like kind of like just that entire riverfront completely being more of an entertainment district. I think would be pretty cool to see, especially just with the problems they've had on Washington Avenue lately.
Right. Mason?
Well, I was going to write off of that is that I know a lot of people always when it comes to money in the public's eyes, people always like, put it towards the schools, put it towards the roads, fix everything. And yeah, it's nice and you're making people's lives better, but I kind of have a more business mind when it comes to it, and you should be putting that money into things that are going to make money year over year for your city. So just because you fix everything in St. Louis, or downtown St. Louis, doesn't mean anyone's going to go there. Doesn't mean anyone wants to be there. It's not going to have any draw. Tear down all the buildings you want. People still aren't going to go downtown. You should be investing in the livelihood and the entertainment of downtown St. Louis just as much as you are about the repair. So if we spend all that money just fixing things and the money actually doesn't like reinvest in itself, then what happens when we have the same problem in 10 years and we don't have RAM settlement money to lean back on? You need to put it into something that's making money for the city and brings people downtown. Like, you got to get the money to circulate back in. And the best way to do it is to get people down there, revitalize Laclede's Landing, improve the strip of the arch, make it more friendly, make it look cool. Keener's Plaza, keep investing in that. I think Ballpark Village and all that doesn't really need any help. I think they're doing fine over there. But make the city more bright. I like when the city did things that were like not last year. That's however long ago it was, but they used to have all the tungsten yellow lighting that was all ugly and looked like you're about to get the R word done to you out in the street. Like someone's gonna come out behind that dumpster. That was terrible. But with City Park and all that stuff, they finally got like the LEDs and it's more comforting and stuff like that. Invite people downtown. Get people to come downtown. Spend that money. to have people come downtown.
You know what could help with
Not
that?
just fix it.
Is they would fucking turn on that fucking at the Horseshoe Casino, that goddamn building back on. That would be cool.
The tall one?
Yeah, that tall one.
I
They
think
turn
that's
that
up and
off?
on.
No, turn it on. Because remember how it used to, like, back in like the early to mid 2000s and early
It had like the
2010s,
colorful LED on it.
yeah, they would have that LED like strip that was on the building, like show, like if there was a Blues game, if there was a Cardinals game, that shit would like light up and stuff.
Well, I think they turned it off because no one was maintaining it, and so all the LED panels were failing, and it looked embarrassing.
Well, guess what? We got some money for it right now.
I
I will donate
that's not
200,000
really-
for it.
I don't think that really goes to the city. It's not the city. That's on Horseshoe. To
Or whoever owns that hotel building.
Yeah, I
and
think
whatnot.
Horseshoe is supposed to maintain
if we could
the
afford a
board,
Gordon
and then you pay for
Ramsay
the advertisement
restaurant,
on it.
if we could afford a Gordon Ramsay restaurant there, we can afford to turn the lights on.
Yeah, dude, come on, turn this light on.
But no, like that whole, like, kind of going back to what you were saying, Mason, about the business, and I think, you know, like, I think the other big hot topic with this is a lot of the money is going towards that tornado relief, which I think is still the right decision, but I think it's just like unfortunate timing on how that all happened, because
Yeah, we kind of got screwed by it.
yeah, because I think if that did not happen and didn't have as much damage, I think you would see a lot more investment in the entertainment side of it.
Well, I don't know though, because St. Louis, like I said, there's always the people that are like, you gotta put it in schools or find somewhere where the money doesn't really invest in itself.
Yeah,
I don't know how much faith I have in the people of St. Louis to be like, hey, let's actually make the city like rejuvenated and attract young people rather than, you know, let people think they should move to LA or Chicago to go have fun. The younger generation's what's gonna make the city money. The younger generation and companies coming here, and we're already a Fortune 500 town, and we're still a dump sometimes.
And that's
some people's eyes.
and that's the one thing I will give. One thing I'll always give Cara Spencer Ford, whenever even when she was a older woman and whatnot, is that she was the one leading the charge for a lot of downtown infrastructural changes in the, you know, a great example of the Millennium Hotel too. That thing finally being taken down after years of just sitting, like over a decade of just sitting there, and now also trying to take care of the stuff north of the Dome, like where that one empty building is, there the best bottle is and shit. Like, there is improvements that we are seeing in real time that we haven't seen for a while. Like the last time I remember seeing big infrastructural strides and whatnot was, you know, whenever I would walk down 14th Street, and I remember those huge condos being abandoned and stuff for a long time as you would walk down, and then even the Stifle Theater being abandoned too. Like I don't know how much that sits in people's memory from just seeing the homeless people basically be outside of the Enterprise Center from a Blues game and stuff.
That's the mail carriers. That's the post office.
What do you
what?
mean?
That's not homeless people. That's like post office workers.
What? They're not delivering my mail. They're stacked up like empty mail, like mail stacks going.
I
up.
remember. I think one of my biggest memories of what Sean was talking about was not even going to a Blues game, but I think it was when I was in middle school. We're getting dropped off at the City Museum. Drove past it. It was Sean's dad driving, and we just see all those homeless people outside like Stifle Theater there, and it's just like that.
Oh, you're talking about you get some of the encampment out in the front.
This was before
one.
then too.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
one.
some on the back. I was like, that's the post office.
This was like in 2011 that this was all happening. 2011, 2012.
I don't remember downtown that much because that's why I was living in old Troy, Missouri.
Because then you later on moved. Because you're one of the few people that I know that lived off of Washington Avenue, right?
Yeah, I lived there in 2020, the worst time to probably live there.
I'm so happy to be downtown. Why is everything closed?
Yeah, it was pretty.
Or-
It was really fun when it was open.
For like a month.
And you had like a lot of those protests that were happening too.
That
at
is
the
true.
same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, they were evacuating, but yeah.
To round up this talk though, with it all, another 25 million is going into reserve from this board bill 22. I don't know what that reserve is going to be and how that's going to be distributed. I know that one of the bigger arguments from this, and even in the articles that we've been reading and whatnot, at least that I've been, is like the north side versus downtown debate of how they want to give that infrastructure. Like we were talking about with the tornado damages and stuff. But again, that just comes down to whatever happened with FEMA trying to help support and them just not,
And the insurance companies,
and the insurance yeah.
like them not paying out the people who are paying for those premiums is just, it's a problem. And that's why I think, that's what I was saying. It kind of just sucks that that tornado happened, because I think it really set the city back of what Kara Spencer was wanting to do with a lot of different like infrastructure things and different things to pass, because it's been such a damper on literally everything. Like everything has to revolve around that tornado relief now, because they can't, like, the federal government won't help, and then you also have these insurance companies that don't help, but they have to do something. They can't just leave it. And I think she's gotten a lot of flack for that. I think it's unnecessary for how it's been handled, but I don't know how much she can really do.
Yeah.
It's like a big, huge chunk of our money now is gonna go fix North St. Louis.
Yeah.
And then one last thing to add on top of it too, with everything that's come down from it, is what kind of held this up a little bit was the complications of the legal challenges from the St. Louis Board of Police commissioners. They were saying that under the 2025 state law requiring the city to allocate 22% of its general revenue to the Metropolitan Police Department, the board filed a lawsuit against all that 250 million of the Rams settlement money and 154 million in city revenues should have been counted as general revenues. I don't know if that'll actually end up working out for what the Board of Police Commissioners are wanting for the city. I know that there was something recently with that of they did get some raise in their way that they could pay for police downtown and whatnot, but again, like, I'm all for the police trying to make St. Louis safe again, and whenever they can, because I feel like now there is a bigger presence than, like, that's the weird thing about growing up now close to St. Louis and going out more, is seeing those growths in police presence and whatnot too, because and we'll hit on this real quick too. All three of us, we went to the 4th of July thing that they did downtown under the arch, which great event and whatnot, but there was no point where I didn't feel unsafe. I felt like there was a heavy police presence and everyone did a great job of orchestrating it to make everyone have a good time.
Yeah, that was nice, because I felt like the last few years at St. Louis, it just feels like 4th of July is where Armageddon happens in downtown, with people doing like firework wars and stuff, where they're just like shooting fireworks at people. Like that was a big thing like a couple years ago, but
I mean, they still did it. They just waited until everyone left.
Yeah,
I didn't see any clips of it at all.
I did. I saw some clips. Yeah, people are still doing it. I see clips. People.
Well, hey, at least they're being safe and waiting until later.
Too.
Yeah, wait until no one's there.
Man, actually, that's something else I want to talk about too. It's another tangent for us to go down.
What is it?
Did you guys know about the flock cameras?
No. Lay this on me.
Do you guys know about the flock cameras?
I'm ready to be learned. Tell me.
They're all right. Let me look up. Flock cameras they're like popping up, and they're not owned by the government or anything. It's like it's accompanied by some rich guy that's funded by billionaires or whatever. But there's these cameras that pop up on the streets, and then they kind of like have a backdoor deal with the government and like police departments and things like that. They're like, hey, if you ever need to use these to like do surveillance or like look up criminals and things, let's see what's going on. We watch everything. It sees everything going on, and it documents it in this database. And there's already been cases where like police are abusing it and like stalking their ex-girlfriends and stuff, and like you can see everything they're doing, everything possible. It's a huge invasion of privacy, but it's not a government thing, So like
Yeah.
this company's just willy nilly putting them up. And
I
they're
think it's
trying
kind
to
of the
strike a
same
deal,
thing.
but everyone's in a stir about it.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about it, your phones are gonna hear about it, and you're probably gonna see them on your TikToks and reels and stuff. But I brought it up because you guys were talking about how we didn't see any videos of the fireworks, but I've seen some vigilante in St. Louis going around and destroying those cameras. And now there's a bunch of videos that are like, "Oh, don't do this. You guys should not point a green or red laser into the lens because that would destroy it. That would be really bad. And you also shouldn't
It's like
deface it or spray paint it." And
It's like the smallest advertising to like, hey, maybe do
yeah.
this. That's
it's
funny.
like definitely bring your phone with you when you deface it because they need to be able to find you. But I brought it up because there's one by my house near this like power station, and like that wasn't enough. Just on the other side of Olive, there's another one, and they're very obvious. I want to pull it up.
Yeah, I've never even heard of these.
Because once you guys see this, you'll be like, "Holy shit!" and you'll notice it everywhere.
I'm sure they have a map out there too that you can probably look up to see where they all are and whatnot.
Let's see. They're just like they look like this. Let's see if I can
Yeah.
get in there. It's not getting any bigger. But let's pull it. If you see this thing, it's usually under such stray, like steel pole
Right.
with a solar panel on the top of it.
Interesting.
It doesn't. I don't know if it looks like this, but
So
I know
I
it
wonder
definitely
what the-
looks like this.
Yeah, I wonder what
And
the
there's
rules
two of
are
those.
gonna be with that now too, because I know in like the UK and like most of Europe they have like the CCTV stuff that they have like together with the government. I'm assuming so that way they can help police and stuff. So
This stupid guy. I think that's the guy that's running the whole thing. I don't know his name. But
it's Mr. Flock himself.
that's definitely a tangent. But I do want the people of St. Louis to know about it. Because there's a lot of people. It's building up. We're about to hear about it.
Yeah.
Because they're invading our privacy, and it's legal battles right now.
We're getting that in Waymo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a vigilante out there, definitely don't
Don't do anything to them.
smartly destroy these because that would be bad. You don't want to ruin anyone's property.
One more thing about kind of like the 4th of July thing is well, actually two things. One, that 4th of July event, I think just completely confirmed that St. Louis needs to have some kind of music festival at the Arch.
Dude.
Well, not just any music festival. They need to try.
Yeah.
This was
actually
like
they
them
actually
trying
tried.
to. Yeah.
They got help, I guess, from Hyundai. I don't know
Yeah.
what the backstory on that is, but you brought in Ludacris, Zed, Miranda Lambert, and then Kenny Loggins, I think.
And even on the second day to be rained out, they still had a good turnout too.
Yeah, like you do stuff like that, and then the people in the city are gonna have faith in you and like
that
be like,
first
hey, you're
day
actually
was
trying to give
amazing.
us good stuff and not just scraps.
Yeah, that first day was incredible. Just like the way that. I mean, I love EDM music, so if you don't like EDM music, I'm sure it's not your thing. But that whole, just the setup of it all, it could have been a little better, but I feel like the way the audio sounded, the actual presentation of the show was phenomenal. But and then the next thing, patios. Why the fuck are you closed on 4th of July or the day before
Yeah,
4th
and then
of
you say
July?
open.
And you say you're open on Google.
I heard
Why?
about this.
We walked from the Arch.
We walked
Which,
all the way there from the arch.
If you are not familiar with St. Louis and like walking 2 patios from there, you literally have to walk around Busch Stadium, and then when you're walking around Busch Stadium, there's the Interstate 64 right there with like that whole interchange.
Yeah,
And
you're walking underneath the interstate, yeah.
We're walking in a very poor lit area. Surprisingly, we didn't see anything crazy there, but it was just like you had to walk all the way around, and we finally get there, and patio's lights were completely off. So then to get back to like where we wanted to go, we had to go again around the other half of the stadium just to get to Ballpark Village. And at that point, I was done. I was like, I don't want to go anywhere anymore.
I feel like, Brennan, you just, I think you got lost yourself. Because you could take Market Street to 8th, and then you're there. But I can understand why you would want to do
It was all messed up because of the traffic with leaving the fireworks show.
Well,
We
you're
didn't
also
take, we
walking
didn't
by.
take that much of a detour. We just went around the back instead of around the front.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
it
say because
was-
they also have a lot of stuff closed off because of the construction from the Millennium Hotel too.
Yeah, it was a disaster on getting there, and I see all their lights are off. I'm like, what? It's a Friday night. I've never seen a bar close like that. Especially when like all of St. Charles bars were open on 4th of July itself. It's like patios
And
you
then
can be
like
open.
Ballpark Village was bumping too.
Yeah, I didn't want to
Because
go
I'm
pay
pretty
covers.
sure patios is open even when the Cardinals aren't playing.
I think
I
they
think so.
are. Yeah, because
Unless
they
I'm
are.
mistaken.
They are because, well, I don't know. I went there for like lunch one time, like a few years ago, when they were playing, like when the Cardinals were away. They weren't at Busch Stadium, and they were open, but that was like during the day. I didn't go like.
You guys didn't just want to go to Midwestern?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
After that whole walk, it was hot. I was like, I'm done after all this, because it was just like, it was just a brutal. Like the walk itself wasn't bad. It was just like you do all that for nothing. It's like, oh, that just kind of killed the vibe.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyways, I think that wraps up the Rams settlement talk. Let's
No,
talk.
it doesn't. I have more to talk about.
Yeah. Do you?
Yes. You guys started talking about 4th of July, but I was ready to keep talking.
What do you got?
I wish that they would add more bike trails or like improve the Bush Greenway because I think it's a really cool thing we have. But I think they can like speed it up and make it even cooler. I do think that was up to a public vote, but getting the metro better would be a good investment too.
Yes, I am a big proponent
Just going
of that.
east to west, or like it goes kind of north and south on the sides. But and I know that one vote happened where they shut it down.
the
You guys know
green
what I'm talking
line.
about?
Yeah, the green
Yeah,
line.
the green line, and I suspect there was some racism with that. I don't know why they did not fucking pass.
So here's what's interesting about that right now too, is that did get reapproved under the bus rapid transit stuff, and I was talking to Brendan
Yeah,
on
but
this.
fuck the bus. The bus ain't cool.
That's not
But-
the same.
But what I think it is I think this is a test to see how much it does get used, so that way they can map out a future green line. Because the way that they have this bus lineup to go is they have the stations going from all the way Goodfellow to Union, the Kings Highway, all the way down to Cass and Carr Street, Washington, and then going even further down south, all the way to Chippewa and Cherokee and Gravelway. So, like, I could see the mapping and how they're trying to do it, but I do agree that, like, I wish they would just, like, and Brendan and I have had many discussions about this, that red and blue line would just go further west, or something could reach all the way to Chesterfield, or finally they get over this huge kerfuffle or argument that it can't go to St. Charles. Because if you can get the metro to go from at least Lambert Airport to St. Charles, that would make so many things, like, it would, that would be so much better in my
The
mind.
thing about like how much it could help the amphitheater too, like Hollywood Casino and stuff, and like it do a lot.
And I think it's weird that we pride ourselves in, like, everyone's like, you can't just look at downtown St. Louis because the city's so much bigger than that. I'm like, all right, then why are we ignoring the rest? Like, when I think of St. Louis, and I might be the only one of the few that think this, but I incorporate St. Charles too. I see us all as one unit. Like, it's another region.
I don't incorporate,
but I
St.
see it as all
Charles.
one unit.
I don't incorporate St. Charles, but I incorporate the entire county.
Not like with like finances, but as like a community thing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That we're crossing the Missouri River all the time. Both sides are, unless you know.
You're one of the people that are saying
shit like that.
Yeah, I don't go past that river.
Yeah, I don't go over there. But that's what I'm saying.
It's mainly
like,
St. Charles people that do that.
Yeah, it's those people, and then that's why I said that. I feel like part of that train situation is because they're like, I don't want North County going down to my neighborhood in Tower Grove, even though I'm at all the protests and support them. But I don't want that community to come down to Tower Grove. Yeah, okay.
I mean, dude, it's a fair thing to call out and whatnot. I mean, you call a spade a spade.
It makes the city more connected that way too, because like think about think about how much more can like improve. Like the more options there are in actual like transportation, like public transportation, it can allow it can kind of remove the stigma around the Metrolink being unsafe because more like yeah, you can hire all the security that you want, you can hire all these like different measures to try to keep it
You're about to say what I'm
quote
gonna say.
unquote safe, but the more people that are using it
Yes.
and utilizing it is what keeps it safe too.
Right.
Because
That's what I say about downtown too. You can put all the cops you want down there, but if there's not natural people eyes on the street, like people are not going to be afraid to do crime. If you get people on the streets downtown or on the train, criminals are going to have natural surveillance ratting them out, and then they're screwed.
yeah,
Get people on the ground, get people on the trains.
get people on the ground and in the trains.
Connect
Yeah,
us.
they've been saying that. They've been saying that since World War II.
No, especially like someone like me, and I think even Mason too, who we've traveled a lot to major cities and whatnot, and you will never not hear me talk about how much fun or how great the New York City trains and metro was, and just the East Coast in general. And I wish a lot more Midwest cities could invest in doing that for their cities.
Trains that work. Like trains are cool, and you're always gonna see shady shit on them too.
But the key is to not ever be afraid.
No, just report it. Report it, and if you don't like something you don't see, get off at the stop, and then wait for the next train.
Right.
And sometimes you're gonna be that's life. That sucks, but
It would relieve a lot of traffic on like 270 and 55. If
Or
just
even
went
think of
everywhere.
it, dude. Think about 64 near Brentwood. If they
Oh, it's
had better
awful.
connections, like for people to use that metro station that could take them further east and whatnot, because I know that there is that stop on the Brentwood I-64 metro link and whatnot, but I just don't know if it connects properly to like the red and blue lines. I have to double check to make sure I'm looking at it correctly.
yeah, because I know the red and blue lines only intersected so many times before they split off.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the metro ends at I think it goes all the way to Fairview Heights, doesn't it, in Illinois?
Yeah, it's Fairview Heights.
So
and
if
then
Fairview
something
Heights
else.
can get a metro station, why can't St. Charles get a metro station? What?
So here's how it works. The blue line does connect. That is what is for Brentwood I-64, and that the only intersection part where it connects is at the Forest Park stop before the Delmar Loop and Skinker. And
How
then
far
yeah,
do
it
you guys
goes all,
think it would?
it goes even further than Fairview Heights. It goes all the way down to Shiloh and Scott.
Yeah, it's crazy. How
So,
far?
yeah,
How
that's
far
like-
do you guys think the train would have to extend into St. Charles, though? I say St. Peter's.
No, I think it can
I
just
wouldn't
to-
go as far as St.
I think it
Peters.
just goes straight to St. Charles downtown.
Yeah, let
St.
it
Charles.
connect to the
That's
main
it?
riverfront.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, because there's no look. I'm very realistic about the fact that I know St. Charles County isn't going to approve it. That's like one of the things that stops it from going. It's just the county not wanting it to be connected. But that's the most realistic thing. Is if you have like if you were to build an extension for the MetroLink, it's going to follow 70, and you can make stops in like Maryland Heights or Bridgeton, and then have it go across the river into like Fifth Street or some shit like that.
I think Fifth Street would be like because I going all the way to St. Peter's. I think is just like too much. I don't think there's any need.
I'm just
for
talking about
that.
that's where there's a major population.
There's a major population there, but I feel like people from St. Peter's will just go to St. Charles, that St. Charles station, and then that's
Yeah.
because a lot of people in St. Charles County
Yeah, but
are
that's
not
okay,
coming to
too.
St. Louis.
But that's
They're not
okay
coming
too
to
if they're
St. Louis
just
like they
gonna
used to be.
commute between like Zumbel and the Main Street and St. Peter's and like Mid Rivers Mall. I feel like that's still 4 stops for them to like move around.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything there to keep. I don't think there's any reason to keep the train going that far. Because I'm trying to like make it realistic.
Well, you have to have
the
buses
point.
there too. That's
Yeah.
why you have trains is you have buses that meet the trains
Yeah,
or like
and then
bike lanes.
if you're talking about like on the 64 side, I think it could go all the way to. It should go all the way to
Chesterfield.
like Chesterfield, yeah. Because I going all the way like O'Fallon wouldn't make sense at all there.
You know what's funny is
The bus
Oh.
does go all the way to Chesterfield. I see it up there at work.
yeah.
It's
You know what's
kinda
funny is
crazy.
I am seeing where it goes from like Shrewsbury and I-44 and those stops and whatnot. That metro is supposed to follow 44 until it connects at Forest Park and whatnot. there is nothing following along 64 at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if you
Yeah.
add it,
So
I
you
think
could
even
make a
if
train there.
you don't connect to like St. Charles, I think it just going to Chesterfield's enough too. Like if you're gonna start somewhere, like because there's nothing there, and you're still staying in the county, and if it's successful,
But the
then you
problem
can-
with going to like fancy ass Chesterfield though is that all those people are just gonna drive, unless you're just counting on people that drive to Chesterfield. And
well,
then
that's
go
a,
from
here's
there.
what I'm saying is people in like St. Charles would go to Chesterfield.
But that's why I think you at least connect it to a residential area starting point.
Right on. And again, this could also be showing our ignorance too of like how the bus stops
Yeah,
works and the
I don't
folks who
know.
do use
We're
that as well.
also like engineering and financial geniuses too.
Yeah, we totally
Yeah.
know everything we're talking about.
We're yeah, I don't know how
Honestly,
much it's gonna cost, but
I would be fine too if they were to make another metro line going all the way to Westwood that just connected to the Missouri Baptist University and like that area. If it doesn't reach all the way to Chesterfield, but if you were to make a centralized stop, make it at where it connects at 64 and 270.
yeah.
Or like at
how,
least all the way to Hannibal.
Yeah.
how far south do you think it goes?
Not
Does
real
it, and
great.
like does it go to just South County, or will you stretch it
It
all
just
the way
goes to
Arnold?
Shrewsbury. Yeah, Shrewsbury is no, it won't go all the way to Arnold.
Oh, you have it go all the way to Arnold.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to add more stops, if you wanted to go beyond, it could go to Webster Grove. But I mean, like that's like a stone's throw from Shrewsbury, Oakland, or Kirkwood. That could be another option too.
I'll
If you
tell you
wanted
what.
to keep following 44.
I'll tell you what. If the MetroLink, if we ever get that expansion, I will do a person. I don't care how many years it is. I'll do a
We're doing
personal
a
live stream of
Yeah.
just us on the MetroLink the entire
You're
time.
just drinking the whole time. That'd be so fun drinking the metro all day until you get robbed.
And someone's just like, look at these drunk idiots.
Yeah, we would be the problem that they are worried about.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah, people love the metro so much that people are just like going on there drinking. Like you, exactly what we tried to know.
Dude, they put. Hey, I'm just saying, you put a TV on that bad boy, that's gonna be like.
There is a TV on
Plexiglass.
there now, and the television channel is yourself.
Yeah, it's just yourself. But you put a Blues game on there, I'd hang out. I wouldn't care.
Dude, what a great... That's what they used to do with trains back in the days. You just go and party on a freaking train.
Isn't that what Amtrak?
Or the riverboat shit. They should do that again.
Dude, yeah, that's a great point.
Watch a game on the riverboat.
Honestly, that's
Or
another.
if they had the Rams... We'd use that money and we'd have to sue the Rams.
We'll
We
just
could have
sue
put
them
the
again.
game on the river at National Car Rental Field and then had the ferries out there, like, partying.
See, this is why they got to put us in charge.
It's just
We want-
exciting opportunities.
We want metro links from all the major highways. I want them on 55, 44, 64.
What's crazy is
And-
all you need is a couple credit cards.
Yeah.
And then
Hear
you
me
pay
out,
them
guys.
over the years.
You can put a payment plan on it. Don't worry about the interest rate.
Yeah, interest rate doesn't matter because
If you revitalize downtown, you can pay it off faster too. So just spend money.
Yeah.
Spend money to make money.
Yeah, come on.
And I can't spend money if patios isn't open.
All right,
And
we're
that's
already.
the point we're making.
We're like
Well-
40 minutes into this Ram settlement.
I will say though, this
awesome.
this episode was never supposed to be about the metro, and that just shows how much people of St. Louis want that train to be cool.
All three of us. We
Fuck the
represent
trolleys.
all of you.
The metros.
Yeah, our new
Alright.
football team's going to be called the Metros.